everyone. We're back with another lab on switch security this time. In this lab, I am preparing to access switch for secure operation before moving into VLAN and trunking configuration. The focus is on basic security, management access, and hardening of unused interfaces. These steps follow real-world best practices used in production networks. And now we'll go ahead and start. First, we have last time we configured the core router, and now we have added switch 1, which is connected via fast Ethernet 01 on switch 1 side and gig 00 on the router side, and the switch 1 is connected to switch 2, both on fast Ethernet 024. So switch 2 access the router through the switch 1. Both are access switches. So I will start with the configuration. The instructions, as always, are on the side here, and we'll go through the configuration together. So, as always, we have to enter privilege executive mode first, and that is, we said enable, and we are in. Then global configuration mode to enter there, conft, and we are in. And the first thing it asks us to do is to change the host name. The host name, we're gonna do all the configuration for switch 1, then move on to switch 2. For switch 1, it is the same command that we used for the router, host name, access switch w1. This is what our name would be. Here it changed, as you see, and then it tells us to disable DNS lookup, and to do that is no IP domain lookup. Okay, then configure a password to get into privileged exec mode. For that, we said enable secret strong, so that it would be unique per device. I'm gonna use SW1 user. And this is longer and also unique from the router, the one that we used for the router. And also encrypt all plain text passwords. That is the command we used last time, is service password ENC. And we're done with step 1. And we'll move on to step 2. In this step, I am securing the local console access as we did with the router. I will configure console password, enable login. This prevents anyone with physical access from immediately accessing the switch. And the way we do that is, as always, line console 0 enter. Now After doing that, tells us to set password for it. Password would be Cisco, and we will also enable logging, configure console logging authentication, that is login. Then logging would be SY and C. We want it to sync the logging, and there you go. That is done, and it asks us to do the same thing, exec timeout, and we see time would be is set to 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, it will kick them out. Exit. Then we're done with step 2. Step 3 is configure a management VLAN. To create so we have to first create the management VLAN, which is VLAN 99. To create a VLAN, the command is we type VLAN, then the number. Now we have created the VLAN, and we can add a name to it. The name would be MGMT, management, and we can add description here. Can exit name, no is negative, add the remote switch port analyzer. These are the options that we have within this command. We already set the name, but just want to show you that. Exit. And next, step 4 is configure the switch management IP. The management is VLAN 99, so it wants us to configure the VLAN 99 with an IP address. So VLAN 99 would be used exclusively for switch management, using a dedicated management VLAN, separates administrative traffic from user data, providing both security and organization. So I will assign the following IP addresses that we have here to the respective switches. Let's go ahead and do that. In order to do that, just like how we will configure an interface, any interface, we interface into the VLAN 99. The funny thing is here, when you interface into the VLAN, it says the state changed the state changed to up. It was down before. Just for best practice, no shot would not hurt, but it is not needed when it is up by default when you interface into it. But it is always best practice to run this command, no shot. And IP ADDR to assign an IP address. ADDR is address. You can write it out or do as I did. It will work both ways. The IP address for switch 1 is 10.0.99.2. And /24 is the subnet mask, which is 255.255.255.0. Each is 8 octet, 8 bits. So 8 plus 8, 16 plus 8 is 24. So yeah. So this is where the 24 came from. The 24 are reserved. The rest, whatever is left, is free for use. And we have to enable interface, that is the no shut. Then we're good here. Let's go to step 5. Step 5 is set a default gateway. A default gateway is if there's a traffic and the switch doesn't know what to do with it, where it doesn't have it, and its routing table where to send it, it will send it to the default gateway. And the default gateway, which will be the router in the future configuration, but this would be the IP address. To set a default IP address, IP the default gateway. You can write it gateway all the way, but you can do what I did as well. There again, 99.1. So we are done with step 5. Step 6 is step 6 is securing the unused ports. And we know that we are only on switch 1, we are only using F01 and F024. So this ports in between 4 now, we're not using them. So let's disable them. Let's shut them down so that we don't leave any open ports on the switch. And the way we do that is interface range FA0/2 to 23. Then shut. This will shut. It says interface changed state to administratively down. So it is closed by the administrator. So we're done with the configuration on switch 1, and we will do the same thing for switch 2. Yes. And we have to set the password first. Password. So then after that, we can enable login authentication. We're done with exit. The reason EX didn't work here is because there is another command that starts with the same letters. It didn't know which one I meant. That's why. IP80R and that's 0.99.3. 255.255.255.0. No shot. Great. Done. Then default gateway is IP default gateway 10.0.9.1. Interface. For this one, everything every port from 1 FA01 to 23 is unused. So we will block all of them. Now to check what we have done so far, we can run the following. We can start with show interface IP. Interface brief. The command would be, what was it? So run. This gives us all the configuration we have done. Let's start with that. And we can go through this. It would be the same. Show VLAN brief will give us the VLAN that we configured. It is VLAN 99 management, and it is active, but there is currently, as you see, there is no port assigned to it. That is very important. I'll tell you in a few minutes why. And show IP interface brief. And here we see all all the interface is administratively down, and the protocol is down as well. It's not accessible. The only app we have is port 24. It is up, and VLAN 1 is also administratively down, and VLAN 99 has an IP address assigned to it. It is active, yes. It is okay, yes. Manual method. The method is manual. Status is up. But because the protocol is down, here is why. Now that we have IP address assigned to the VLANs on switch 1 and switch 2, they technically should be able to ping each other, right? But you will see that it will not work. Ping 10.0.99.2. It will fail. The reason being is, you remember what I said? We have assigned VLAN 99 an IP address, but we didn't assign it to a port. So it has to be assigned to a port, either to a trunk port or an access port. And then only would it be able, would the protocol be also app. Yeah, that's why it didn't work for this lab. In this step, I identified all the unused fast Ethernet ports on both switches and shut them down, administratively shut them down. And we configured a VLAN, a management VLAN on both switches and assigned an IP address to it. And we did the basic, we configured the console access, and we configured the switch with a new name and with a password. And now that we have done this, this concludes our Lab 2 switch security. At this point, both access switches are securely configured with proper identities and are protected management access and dedicated management VLAN, and unused ports are disabled. And these steps establish a clean and hardened foundation for the next phase of the network. In this lab, in the next lab, we will build, we'll configure more VLANs and enter the trunking and enable trunking on layer 2 so that we can have layer 2 communication. Until then, have a good one, and I'll see you then.